My name's Adam Wilson. I am the Managing Director of Great Southern Truffles, the founder and a pioneer, I believe, in the truffle industry in Australia. From commercialising the first crop of Australian truffles when in 2006 I started introducing the Australian cultivation of black winter truffles to the world. My role was trying to work out how to educate people about the growth of Australian truffles, or the first truffle plantations that were growing truffles in Western Australia after the Tasmanians found the first truffle. The passion started probably 20 years before that when I was living in Italy, and I was invited out by a very good friend of mine to have a meal, and at that meal I was introduced to white winter truffles. So it was around Christmas time and it was on pasta, so then they grated it on pasta and we just kept shaving it, and all of a sudden I got this most unbelievable sensation in my stomach, my nose, in my whole body of how good that flavour was. And from there I lived in Italy for about 20 years and ate truffles every time I could find them. So a lot of passion. Great Southern Truffles began around 2010. Before that, I've been working in the truffle industry, consulting to a couple of these farms who had just started cultivating or started producing them. And I realized that the business in truffles was, yes, one, trading truffles, but two, it was actually manufacturing and making truffle products. And it was using Australian grown truffles and finding other ingredients that would complement it. So it was a labour of passion firstly, but then it became really something I understood that could commercially develop via the amount of truffle that Australia was growing. So as volumes grew, so I was able to get truffles to make products and developed our range of products. So the first product I wanted to do was, prior to the truffle world, I was working in olive oil and I wanted to make a truffle oil. So I went through this learning curve of how do you get truffle flavour into really good olive oil. First thing is, don't get really strong olive oil because it'll overpower the truffle. So it was this learning curve of how do you find the right flavours to make the best product. And of course, it was trying to find the right one to match truffle. And then how does a truffle, which is 85% water, blend with olive oil? And that was the process I needed to understand, is how do you get the oil not to split with truffle? And getting people to try it, starting to get it into a few shops, getting it more and more out there, and giving it to chefs to use and to see if it compared with obviously the Italian product. A lot of R&D in that area, but that also then led us to, making truffle sauces, making truffle mustards, truffle honeys, truffle aiolis, truffle foie gras that I do in Spain, even our truffle nougats at the end of the day. And the last one being the hot sauce, but we're also now ready to develop a truffle seasoning. So it just keeps continuing because truffle goes into so many other ingredients and works. So R&D never stops. I'm the co-director of Silverplace Proprietary Limited, which is a research project come nursery come seedling producer based in Denmark, Western Australia. We started this project when I first heard about the Future Food Systems CRC. I always had the idea of being involved in the truffle industry already for 12, 13 years, of where the industry is going and what needs to be done. And Australia now are the fourth largest producers in the world of black winter tuber melanosporum truffles. Fantastic. The cultivation's going okay, needs more research. When it grows and people produce it, it's one of the best products found in the world from any black winter truffle plant. So I saw all of that going on, but commercially, there's two problems. One, it's a 8, 10, 12 week growth period or harvesting period, and it is really a competitive industry versus black summer truffles that the Europeans produce at the same time. So the dilemma is being able to sell our crop in 12 weeks, make it commercially viable for a truffle orchard owner to succeed, but also at the same time competing price-wise with the European summer truffle, which is a tenth of the price of black winter truffle. So thinking about the commercialization of it, black winter truffle is one season. There are 4 or 5 other varieties of truffles that can be cultivated at the same time that you would consider adds to commercial reality of truffle cultivation. And that is a white spring truffle called the tuber baup, and the summer truffle, which is what we compete against, the tuber estetum truffle. There's also a tuber brunata, there's also a magnatum truffle, but it was what could be cultivated in Australia to extend the seasonality of Australian grass truffles. Having been introduced to the CRC, it was all about the collaboration between university and industry. And obviously, having been in industry for a long time, it was how do you balance it? And I was taught very well by several professors and academics of what I needed to do, because of course I never thought I was at the level to be able to do that research project, but it was collaborating with people who do that. And so I could put in all my ideas to make something commercial, but it's then how do you research that project to become commercial? And so fortunately, the CRC taught me how that was done and made it easy for me to say, well, hang on, I can't just write research papers, I can't do a lot of things, but that's where we got a PhD student to do the project on our behalf. Commercially, there's a cost to that and there's an outcome from that, but I was guided the whole way. And I just think from an industry perspective, to grow a business, to make a business work, to get an industry going, you actually need research, because we can't do things like what we're doing without knowing what you're doing. And the researchers give you that. Then you go, well, how do I make that commercial? So maybe that's how it sort of all came together. Everybody from understanding what the Future Food Systems collaboration offers is it just made it more comfortable. So I suppose I haven't really had to think much more than, hang on, I'm going to give such and such a call to find out if we're doing this right, what's the next stage, where do we go? The project fortunately has been run on a rail, well, straight rail actually, pretty much the whole way to be able to be successful. It's going to be successful. It is successful. It'll be even more successful once we start commercializing things. But it's that process. And yeah, the CRC has been very, very good, and everybody involved from the Future Food Systems doing for food's sake, that's been super important, because I was then able to meet other people doing other research projects and how their pathway's gone. Putting a truffle farm together with a science-based farm inside of Murdoch's farm has given us the opportunity to get the data we need. Proof in concept is everything, I think, in agriculture, and I suppose in anything that we do. We're now at year 3 of our plantings, so it's a 4-year PhD project. We've now got, so after the first year we started planting our first seedlings. This September we'll be able to go out with the dogs and search our property. We know that there's the mycelium there, we know that there's underground activity there. It's if that fruiting body forms this year or next year, 1 year it's going to produce, and all of a sudden then the impact will start. But you definitely need to go through the whole system to get to that outcome that here's the truffle, here's what we've produced. Grand vision is to make the Australian truffle industry commercially viable for a lot more agriculture. Now that Australians can produce more truffle per hectare, and that's been proven by the black winter truffle, we're producing in some properties anywhere from 100 kilos to 500 kilos a hectare. That is totally viable. We need more people understanding how to get to that stage. If we get to that they all think, oh, well, that means the price is going to drop. Yes and no. It's going to make their businesses more viable. If truffle prices drop slightly to a certain point, because of that, they've got other parts of the industry which grow through dog handling, through processing of truffles, through all the other parts that touch a food industry, because guess what? Truffles food. The grand vision is that there's an industry that is successful, and Australia quite easily be at the top of the world tree for that. Wouldn't that be nice?